people! Welcome back to the Guitar Restoration Show. On the bench today we've got a Santa Cruz, a beautiful Santa Cruz guitar. Amazing harmonics. The tone wood and the matching they did on putting this thing together, just amazing. But why it's here, it sounds great. The strings are a little tarnished. The frets are kind of tarnished. I don't know if these are gold frets or silver frets, but it spent some time in Hawaii and Florida. So it's maybe some saltwater corrosion from the air. The action's perfect, but there's a little buzz up here in the lower frets. On the higher strings, there's some denting. Hear that? The E string. Take a look at this capo. This is the quick draw capo. Very easy to use. There seems to be leaving a dent in these frets here in the first string. The relief on this guitar is very slight. It's 5/64 on the bass. Right in this area we get the most relief, which is great. And then on the treble, it's I'm struggling to get my 4/1000 of an inch feeler gauge underneath it. And it doesn't even go under there at the first. It starts to go under at the third. And then I can get it under a few, and then it goes away. Then I can't. So it only has about 4/1000 of relief between 5 frets. So I might need to back the truss rod out slightly. But I'm thinking what I might do first is just level the treble side. After I take the strings off, the neck relaxes back into a back bow. I'll just run the diamond fret file right here and then recrown and polish everything, put it back together, and see if I've solved the problem. The other problem is a loose tuner. And you don't notice it until you start detuning the high E string. Get this capo out of the way. When you get it in between, you'll see that this one's really loose. I want to find out if I can take it apart and do something about that. The other one's nice and snug. It's this one. Really annoying. The other ones are all good. Nice and tight. All good. It's the high E. Look at the detail right here on that volute. I think they call that a volute. That is the coolest. Looking through the sound hole, you can see the X brace and the K&K pickup system. Kind of like a transducer that mounts onto the bridge plate. Also, way back in there, there's a signature. It says May 2002, and it's signed someone with the last name Bridger, Badger, or Bollinger, or something like that. So this guitar is 19 years old. If I do the math correctly. Take a look at these. Now that I've taken the strings off the guitar, all the tuners kind of have the same play. Except for the B string seems a little tighter. Actually, I guess depending on how I rotate them, they have different degrees of sloppiness. Let's take a look at this E. So with the strings off, the neck went back into a back bow. It rocks. right in the middle here, around the 6th fret, it rocks, which is what I expected. Now I'm going to take a little off the top here. Just going to eyeball it. So I've gotten rid of the dent, and I've created a little bit more relief. That's all it took. It does not take a lot to correct a slight problem that she was experiencing. Now I can recrown. This is the StewMax centered V file. These are about $100. And with this file, this diamond file, both these are diamond files. They're both expensive. But the good thing is I don't need to use blue marker to see the tops of the frets. In my lighting here, I can see what I'm doing. And I don't need to tape off the fretboard. If I was using a traditional triangle file, I'd be letting it rest right up against the fretboard. I'd have to tape off in between each fret. That takes some time. So I'll do that with the rest. After running the file this way, it leaves linear scratch marks. So I like to come back the other way. So that the scratch marks are going with the frets instead of with the strings. And this is just for the tops of the frets. I already got the sides of the frets with this the Z file. After going over these frets with various grits of sandpaper, I've realized they're not gold. They're nickel silver. This is 1000 grit. After using superfine steel wool on the frets, I like to go in between each fret and clean up the fretboard, going with the grain. There's nothing worse than a customer getting their guitar back and seeing scratch marks across the grain of their fretboard. This is the most intimate part of the guitar, and people love to get their guitar back all cleaned up. I'm going to oil it. Shiny frets, tight tuners, new strings. Happy customers. Goo gone. There's a little bit of goo. too much. Goo Gone is oily. It has citrus, power, safe, fast working remover, great for a variety of projects. But it's still not lemon oil. Lemon oil really conditions the board. This is the Dunlop 65, the ultimate lemon oil. Quick little look here. I just put some blue Loctite around. Kind of pull it out, put the Loctite there, and then I lubed up the shaft with some Vaseline. This little screw has a little washer on it. And it's going to go right back in here. Just get that as tight as I can. Yeah. Good deal of the slop is gone. So that Loctite in between all these little threads, I think it's going to feel a little bit better. I just took a little Q-tip with some Vaseline on it and lubricated the inside of this bushing, and it was dirty. It was pretty nasty there. I can probably polish this stuff. This stainless steel cleaner and polish that you can get right out of aisle 5 at your local grocery store. Works wonders. See, now this one seems loose. Isn't that pretty? Stainless steel polish. I wonder if I should pour Loctite on all of these. Should definitely put a drop of Vaseline on them all. Except the E. check this relief again with the 4/1000 of an inch, and it slides in all the way from fret 3 to about 8. So the cool thing is, we'll look on this side. We've got a little more relief on the bass side, which is very common, but still not much more than 5/1000 of an inch, 6/1000 on the bass, somewhere around 5/1000 or so on the treble. All the little scratches are gone, the little dents made by the E string, and it sounds good. Best sounding guitars I've heard in a long time. And as far as the tuner goes, no wiggle. So a little bit of that blue Loctite did the trick. I got a little Vaseline on there, but yeah, a little blue Loctite in and around that worm gear was enough to keep it from wiggling anymore. Now one of the other ones wiggles more than this one, and that might wear off over time, but it's a good little fix for now without causing any turmoil.